A woman that can sleep with you, let me say a few things. A woman who can sleep with you without getting emotional attachment is a hot mess, not worth your time. If she can sleep with you without getting emotionally attached, then she's the type of woman that can do that with anyone. These are your women who are more likely to cheat. These are your women who have been in lots of relationships where they've learned that sex and love don't go together.
Out the country women are getting paid $25 to have sex with anybody. These out the country women, you give them $30 and they're sucking you and all your homeboys in one night.
The States women, they don't have the same values as these women overseas. They value they men. They priority is they men first. They not shaking that on Instagram every
Not
day.
every woman is doing that, Paul.
That's American women. That's the majority.
No, not every woman is doing that, though.
That's not what he's saying.
There's more women in America doing that than out the country.
I can agree, but they're out the country women are getting paid $25 to have sex with anybody. Colombia, go there, Brazil. So please kill it. Because I know. And y'all want to glorify these out the country women. These out the country women, you give them $30 and they're sucking you and all your homeboys in one night. So stop trying to glorify that. I'm sick of it. Anyways.
Oh, Paul, you got under the skin with that one. Sheesh. And to be honest, it doesn't make any sense for the crash out. Oh, I'll try to make it make sense from her perspective. But we're talking about French Montana, who was in the hood at one portion of his life, upgraded his life and utilizing his value, his talents, and musical gifts, and now has the option to expand who he dates to a worldly perspective, and then came across a princess in Dubai. When Pierce brings it up, he's talking about men exercising their options to not be withholden to a woman with a mindset from the West. Don't be the all police. Logically, it's not going to be all women indoctrinated into the westernized way of thinking about men and their expectations of men. But the things that are popularized for women over here are not popularized for women over there. It's a lot easier to find women in these other countries, especially the Asian countries, where feminism has not taken control of a woman's femininity. And that's because they still hold on to traditional values. Over there in a lot of these countries, femininity is still accepted and respected as opposed to being rejected. But instead of addressing his exact argument or giving credence to French Montana's situation, you instead take it to tourism. You guys must understand this, is that her degree of trigger is what they do. They can't physically get you not to travel abroad to see better value options at a lower cost. So what they do is that they mentally try to get you not to travel abroad by shaming or belittling your decision to do so. They want the complete monopoly over men. Competition, as in business, would force them to change. That's why she's getting so angry. It's a threat to her dating business. Is there S-tourism or hoes in these other different types of countries that are selling butt for $25? Yeah, that does exist, but the small-mindedness within you makes you feel like it's all of them. No, there's hoes in these other countries just like there's hoes in the United States. The difference is that in the United States, they will operate, they will dress, their digital presence is of that of a while expecting chivalry out these men or marriage out these men.
This one's for the guys. If you're a female, just keep scrolling. I mean, you can stay if you want, but you'll probably get a little butthurt. If you go on a date with a woman and she automatically starts saying she has standards and then starts to name some of her standards that or expectations that she has for her significant other or man that she's dating, and she immediately goes into, he can't wear Crocs, he can't eat chicken wings, he can't listen to Taylor Swift. You're on a date with a child dressed as a woman in a woman's body. Standards, for those of you that aren't aware, I'm sure there's women in here, are things like you want somebody who communicates with you. You want a God-fearing man. You want a loyal man. Those are standards. Those are qualities that you want in a man. But demanding a man can't wear Crocs is not a standard. That is control and childish. And then you wonder why you get these guys that you label as boys. Do better.
Women choose who they sleep with, yes, but they rarely admit how they decide. So here are 15 uncomfortable truths that most men never hear. So listen up. No fluff, no filters. Number 1, raw desire overrides everything. If she wants you, she'll break the rules. If she doesn't, she'll make them. Number 2, status is foreplay. If other men respect you, she notices that immediately. Number 3, bad boy energy isn't about crime. It's about his dominance, his confidence, and his control. Number 4, looks matter, but how you carry yourself matters more. Masculine presence beats a pretty face any day. Number 5, her phone probably has 10 guys begging for her attention. She often chooses the one who doesn't. Number 6, if you're completely safe, you often become invisible. Comfort creates warmth, not desire. Number 7, she might call it a mistake, but attraction rarely happens by accident. Number 8, hypergamy never sleeps. People naturally look for the best option they believe they can get. Number 9, timing beats effort. The right moment can do more than months of chasing. Number 10, the man she fully desires is usually the one that she sees above her in some way. Number 11, her friends don't create her attraction. They usually just reveal it. Number 12, attraction can shift with mood, chemistry, and biology. You're not just competing with logic. You're competing with emotion. Number 13, someone might lie about their past, but they rarely lie about who gave them real butterflies. Number 14, the people someone talks about the most aren't always the ones that they were with. They're the ones that they deeply wanted. And number 15, remember this. She chooses who she sleeps with, but you choose who you build a life with. Don't confuse the two, because at the end of the day, your value is not determined by who chooses you. It's determined by the standards of the choice for yourself.
The women are actually a huge part of the problem, and it is so subtle, yet it's insidious. Women, the contempt, the subtle arrogance and entitlement around your needs and self-righteously expecting your needs to get met while withholding respect and just common decency and niceness and warmth is profound. Like, oh, and I am guilty of it as well. This is women. This is the mess that we're making. I have seen too many men whose dignity has been snuffed out when his wife could hold the position of building up that dignity. What an honor that could be. What healing is available. But no, we want to be right and we want our needs met. So many men trying so hard in their own way to not be received. Not good enough. Not exactly what I needed. You're not safe. Women don't realize that our words and our energy cut deeply to a man, and then we wonder why he's not showing up.
Having a child is becoming an unpaid Uber driver for someone who doesn't want to go to karate and hates you anyway. And it's hard work.
That is a narrative that I'm going to push back on, which is part of the problem, which is that it's the narrative of misery, which has been promoted. And it's not miserable to have children. It's joyful. It's the most incredible love you'll ever experience in your life, but it's also really hard. And I think we have a bunch of pussies, actually. We are producing women and men who are pussies, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. They cannot deal with discomfort. They cannot deal with frustration. They cannot deal with sacrifice or hardship or responsibility. They want it to be easy. Who said raising children was easy? You don't get the good stuff unless you put in the work. And it's the same if you're out in the world. Of course it's easier to go to a job than it is to stay home with a child, because a child demands more of you, but it also gives back more.
You know, you have modern women out there in the dating world that will sit there and tell a man that he needs to be fully present and to stop being distracted, but then they'll go out there and pull out their phone on a date. They'll spend 20 minutes scrolling, and a man notices that, right? Men are noticing how terrible modern, and you can't even really put an age limit on it, right? You can't even really put an age range on it, because you'll have modern women who are in their 20s. You'll also have modern women in their 50s who act like this, like they're, no matter what they say, modern women, they're not good people, dude. They're not good people. They always be on their worst behavior. You don't want to be involved with a man.
I feel like people do not understand what it's like for a man to fall in love. That being said, when a man chooses, when a man has chosen and has found that safety, that security in a woman, oh my God, nothing else exists. Like, it is like this feeling of like your heart finally being able to take off its armor after a lifetime of war, and you don't have to look behind your shoulder and think that someone's gonna stab a knife into it. Like, your eyes, you are seeing, it's like seeing with saved eyes. You are seeing your life in a woman, right? And embodying a person, and for some reason you just are locked in. You just feel like, wow, you know, like I am finally safe in this person. I will die for.
You don't just do it for the food. That's so, I mean, don't you that's so broke of you. You're so broke for that. Some guys were like, well, I'm paying for the food, so now I need some of that, you know, and you know, and girls are like, well, I'm not giving that, unless you put that filet mignon on the table with the twin lobster tails. So, but you don't need, you're trading the nana for the lobster tail? Come on, man.
This woman said there are no men to date in Charlotte, North Carolina. But after watching her video, I'm starting to believe that she's not telling the truth.
I just be wondering, who told us that the men be in Charlotte, North Carolina? Who the told us that goddamn lie? Let me tell you something. I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina for 3 years, and don't get me wrong, I had a really good relationship for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. So I'm not gonna on all Charlotte. But what I will say is, that was like one of a million out this mother. Where are the niggas? What the
My question is, what happened to the 1 in a million dude? What happened to him? He seemed to be perfect. Where is he at?
All you see is a bunch of females out here. I feel like we all got the memo, and somebody lied and said the men that know how to treat women, the men with that southern hospitality, as if we in the South, are in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we all gravitated and migrated here, and now we all here looking dumb. Dumb and single. Dumb and single. Except for the lesbians. There's a whole lot of lesbians out here, and you know, I would say this, as a lesbian, as a straight man, you will probably have some luck out here. Some, because you know, and I'm gonna leave it there. You'll have some luck out here. But for a single woman who is actually looking to date and be in a relationship, girl, don't bring your down here.
I am so confused. You said you found that. What are you talking about? You said you found him. He was 1 in a million. What happened to him? Why are you leaving it out the story?
This ain't it. This ain't it. And I keep telling myself I'm going to leave, but then go where? Because I also feel like the Charlotte, North Carolina people out here, like, they really can't, I don't know if they can handle my attitude. You know, I'm from the DMV, and we a little feisty. You know, them niggas done instilled some me that I just can't shake. You know, so I'm a little feisty, I'm a little sassy or whatever.
And there it is. All that other stuff she's talking about, there's no men, they don't know how to treat women. Throw that out the window. This is what it's all about right there. She got a bad attitude, she's sassy, she can't keep a man. That's what it's all about right there.
But it just seemed like the only type of people that can handle my attitude was my men back at home, back in the DMV. Them the only niggas that can really tame this low attitude.
This lady is in her 40s, people. Late 30s, but I'm thinking 40s. Talking like this.
Everybody else be acting like they a little scared. You scared a little on me? Crazy. I need to figure out where to go. Y'all give me some suggestions. I heard they be looking all right in Michigan, but what the is out in Michigan? I don't know, I'm probably just going off of that one. I got a crush. What's his name? Michigan King? Yeah, tag him. I like him. That's my type right there. That's my type right there. They not out here. They not out here. Nowhere. Help. Send help.
This video is a prime example of why I'm always saying you can't listen to these women when they're online telling their side of the story, when they're sharing their issues or doing what they do best, blaming men for whatever situation that they're in. This lady started the video out saying that there are no men in Charlotte. Nothing. There's no reason to come there. There's no men whatsoever. Then turned right around and said she met this great guy who was perfect. 1 in a million. She said it. She met a guy who was perfect. That lasted about a year and a half. Never talked about what happened, which is fine. But the one thing I know about women, and especially women like this, if it was something he did, I guarantee you she would have talked about it. There is no way possible she wouldn't have brought up that he did something to mess it up. So that is telling me she ran that man off, and then later in the video, without actually saying what she did, she said what she did. It was her being sassy and her bad attitude. I am pretty sure that's what ran that man off. And the reason I want to talk about this video is because I need to expose these type of situations, because there's so many women making these videos. There's one for every city. Ain't no men in Minnesota. Ain't no men in Chicago. Chicago. Ain't no men in Detroit. They're making them everywhere, and in most situations, they're dealing with the exact same thing she's dealing with. It is something that they are doing. But they don't talk about that in the video. It's always the man. Why the men ain't this? Why the men ain't that? When the actual problem is you. Let me be clear. I am not saying men are never at fault. I understand men are at fault sometimes. But when these women are coming on doing these story times about how bad men are, y'all need to understand they are doing everything they can to keep themselves clean. They don't want none of that blame touching them whatsoever. Like she's over here talking about, well, maybe I should go to Michigan. Why? Why go to Michigan if you're gonna be the same person that you are in Charlotte? And she mentioned that she had a crush on some dude up there. So you're gonna go to Michigan because you like this guy's videos? And the guy's name is Michigan King. I went and looked at a couple of his videos. This is who she's talking about.
I got a question. I am finding something I'm far from you.
And this is all the guy does. He just comes online and sells fantasies to these women all day. And they fall for a hook, line, and sinker, just like this woman. And I ain't knocking that, man. Get your money. But this is who she's talking about. My advice to you is just to go back home. You already said those men are used to you. They're used to dealing with your attitude, which I don't believe. I believe she had 1 or 2 boyfriends down there who dealt with her garbage. So now she think all of those men want to deal with it. Those men in your hometown don't want to deal with your attitude, just like those men in Charlotte don't want to deal with your attitude. But instead of doing the work to change that attitude, to get rid of that sassiness, she's just gonna move because it's men's fault. All I'm saying, people, is when you see these women coming online talking about there's no men here, there's no men there, just understand a lot of them are not sharing the whole story. They're gonna give you bits and pieces to make themselves look innocent, the same way this young lady did here. But anyway, leave your thoughts in the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.
But dating in your 30s, you guys, oh my God. Dating in your 30s is so exciting. It is so exciting. It's a lot like Facebook Marketplace. Just a lot of, is this still available? Could you send some close-up pictures of the damages? And sometimes a guy will come in with a back row hit of, will you accept $25? And the answer is OBO, baby. Come over, mama's hungry. Let's go.
When a woman has her period, it means stops for the next week. I mean, she shouldn't have to perform if she's literally bleeding, right? I disagree. That week needs to be known as blowjob week. This is the 1 week every month she gets to work on her technique and show her man just how much she respects him. And respect has a domino effect. It's surprising how easy it can be to live with a man who gets his knob polished every now and then. This isn't something she's obligated to do or should be demanded to do. This is a gift she gets to give. And not only will you sleep well, she'll sleep well knowing she's hitting that right out of the park.
I honestly don't think most women get this, and guys, seriously, jump in the comments and tell me if I'm tripping. A man would way rather be with a girl working as a waitress, making next to nothing, if she actually respects him, loves him, and has his back in the ways that matter. Compare that to a boss babe. Maybe she's a lawyer or a doctor, making bank and living large. But if she's constantly on his back, always nagging, being disrespectful, and making his life a living instead of a peaceful home, that money doesn't mean a thing to him. See, a man's home is supposed to be his escape from the world, not another place to fight. Yeah. He doesn't need your title or your salary to feel good about himself. He needs peace. He needs to feel like his woman is actually on his team, not his boss. At the end of the day, respect and peace will always win over a high-paying career. Men, am I right? Or does the paycheck actually change things for you?
Now, this is a big part of why women are attracted to wealthy men as well. Wealth, like antisocial boldness, allows people to live above the rules of society. I don't make the news, I just report it. Like, you've all been following the Epstein Files stuff, right? What we're seeing is the unveiling of a global cabal of elites that have long been operating over and above not only the rule of law, but the dictates of like basic human dignity and morality. Many of the revelations are disgusting and abhorrent, if not completely evil. But none of them should be completely surprising. People seek wealth and power in order to not be constrained by the forces that bind the masses. Rules for thee, but not for me, kind of a thing. So that's a big part of why women are attracted to wealth. Like antisocial tendencies, wealth offers a kind of liberation from the constraints that most people are resigned by their powerlessness to operate within. Aligning herself with these types of men allows a woman to vicariously participate in that freedom.
You know, women will call a man toxic the second he stops doing whatever she wants. The moment men start setting boundaries for these modern women, all of a sudden he's toxic. You know, he might say something that she doesn't like. Suddenly he's a narcissist. That man stopped chasing her. Suddenly he got emotional. Oh, you want to be careful. You want to be careful with emotionally. You want to be careful with emotionally avoided men. What? You mean men that don't put up with your BS? Is that what you mean? You mean you're upset that men have figured out that toxic just means he stopped being convenient and doing whatever you wanted him to do? And a lot of men really stopped caring about that a long time ago. Y'all go to therapy, y'all be using these buzzwords. Y'all throwing around toxic so loosely that it don't really mean anything anymore.
So, like I said earlier, she's an Army vet. So again, thank you for your service, Queen Lila. You know, kudos to you on that. She reminds me of someone else that's an Army vet. Some of you may have heard of her. Princella Clark, the so-called Queen Maker. She too was an Army vet. And she too is college educated, or at least to some extent. Went to Louisiana State University at Shreveport. And you know what? Let's pull that up. Just for shits and giggles. Let's pull up Louisiana City, Shreveport, U.S. News. Let's just see what happens here. I'm just curious. Here we are. I'm going to show this on the screen. By the way, gentlemen, every time you get a woman's alma mater, you want to go to U.S. News and World Report and look it up and see where it ranks. Rankings matter. Let's take a look. Here we are. This is U.S. News and World Report 101. 101. That's the ranking. Not top 10, not top 20, not top 50. It falls just outside of the top 100. And the sister Queen Lila, hers is 198. Okay? Always consider the source, gentlemen. Always consider the source.
Some women sabotage the men that they prayed for. So you prayed for a loyal man, a provider, and a leader. But whenever he shows up, you test him, disrespect him, and doubt him. You wonder why Sierra's prayer isn't working for you, but you're not doing any of the things that Sierra did. You're not being submissive. You're not being a good listener. You're not allowing that man to lead. You sitting up here disrupting that man's peace. You're becoming part of his trials and tribulations. He's going to have to heal from the things that happen in y'all's relationship whenever it's over. If you want the man that you prayed for, when you get him, appreciate him.
And y'all don't want to pay no bills. You can't build. You can't change my tire. You can't change my oil. You don't know how to manage money. I can't fight. You can't swim. You don't know how to travel. You can't even book a flight. Y'all don't show affection, and you don't prioritize making your lady smile. Like, y'all just don't give a f.
Are you able to change your tire? Are you able to change your oil? Can you swim? I just know you're useless. Because if I go through your page right now, there's probably another video of you saying, I'm not cooking for a man. I'm not cleaning. I'm not going 50-50. But yet still, everything you just listed, you expect a man to be able to do it. You guys must think that you're special. Because I'm not supposed to be expected to do anything. Because I'm a woman. But I expect him to do every and anything because he's a man.
Look! They saying you was on the phone with a man.
Bro, I'm gonna call the cops, bro. Yo, stop. Call the cops right now. Call the cops on the finger, bro.
Oh, listen to me. Look,
he just pushed me. He's trying to push me against that. Like,
hell no.
So now you're putting your hands on women? Hold on. Call the cops, bro. He doesn't want to block that home.
Come on. Now you talking about we put our hands on you.
Yo, you trying to push me over that, right, Sav? You saw that?
We don't talk enough about how feminism has damaged the children of this country, right? Before feminism, children were being raised in a nuclear family at 70% of the population, meaning 70% of households had both mom and dad living together, taking care of the children together, raising a family. Now that's down to 20%. 20%. That means 80% of America's children are growing up with only one parent in the household or with a split household. That is really sad, guys, especially when we look at the academic results of this. We can see that these children are struggling because they don't have the same support system that generations prior to us had. We know that not only are children who were raised in a two-parent home more likely to succeed academically, but they're more well-rounded socially. Think about it. How is a man supposed to learn how to be a man if he doesn't have a father in the home to teach him? And how is he supposed to know how to treat a woman if he doesn't have a good father at home to show him how his mother should be treated? And vice versa for a woman, right? A young lady growing up in a home where it's only her mom, she doesn't get to see how a woman should be loved, how a woman should be prioritized and treated by a husband. And a woman growing up without her father, we've already seen, we know what it looks like when a woman has no father in the home and grows up yearning for that father figure. We don't need more of that for our society, for our children. It leads to young women seeking that father figure somewhere else, seeking that attention somewhere else. And this is why we end up with so many teenage pregnancies. This is why we end up with so many broken homes repeating themselves. Not to mention the millions of children that never even got to experience life thanks to the feminist push for. Since Roe v. Wade was passed in 1973, 63 plus million babies have been aborted in the United States alone. 63 million babies. Feminists don't care about the 32 million women that were unalived in the womb, never given a chance to become something, to be someone. They don't care about the millions of women who regret getting a. They never have that conversation about how mentally difficult it is for a woman to face the fact that she unalived her own child. It's only my body, my choice. Never, what is my choice doing to the next generation?
But it's a negative stigma because you're just giving it to anybody. And the double standard is men give it to anybody and there's no consequence or there's no rebuttal. But women were disgusting, we're nasty, it's dirty, it's da-da-da-da. Yeah, let's keep it across the whole plane that men are equally as disgusting and nasty for having with women. And then my thing is, you do it unprotected.
That's valid.
You do it unprotected. I've had experience addressing stuff like that and a man is offended, but it's not you, it's because women do sleep around and you're not asking her about her sexual, so you don't know what she brought to you and then you're trying to bring it to, it's a cycle.
Oh yeah, with more power comes more responsibility. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and being that we carry children.
I'm saying in terms of access to, like, women have more access to just being a woman, like,
but it goes what you guys said. That doesn't make a man want you. And there's a whole thing like, oh, I can have any man you want. No, you can sleep with any man you want. That part. But you're not gonna get that man that values you and wants to bring you home and take you and make a family with you if that's the mindset that you're working with.
There's also a value system too. Like, they hate when I use this metaphor, but it's like a lock and a key. If you're a lock that any key can open, is not a valuable lock. But if you're a key that can open any lock, I mean, that's a valuable key.
That's a good point. That's a really good analogy.
You know, a lot of these modern women will say, if he wanted to, he would. And men have actually started applying that same logic back. If she wanted to treat him right, she would. If she wanted to appreciate what he does, she would. If she wanted to be consistent, she would. Funny how that phrase goes both ways. And men continue to try to tell modern women that, hey, if you want me to do something for you, or to continue, because I'm already doing it, but if you want me to continue doing it, how about you do something for me? Well, I got this. My dog bit my behind, stepped in the snake bed, ants been all up and down my legs, all up, as you can see, ants crawl all up into my face and all in my mouth and all that other nonsense. If you wanted to, you would. Reciprocate.
If a man tells you that he doesn't like you, you shouldn't just automatically believe him.
No, you absolutely should believe him.
Men are liars. What makes you think he's all of a sudden telling the truth?
Ladies, if a man is being that direct with you, there's probably a very good reason. Being he doesn't like you.
Do you guys think that I'm being misogynistic or sexist?
Yes.
Yes?
What was sexist?
I feel like some points you made, as in like the cooking and the cleaning and the constant, like, you know, always being there to take care of you. I feel like that's an expectation that men hold a lot for women, and I just don't agree with that, because I feel like, wouldn't you want your woman to be independent and have her own career and make her own money so that you're not fully, but think about it.
So like
equal
when
for both
women want
sides.
men to pay for dates, are they being sexist?
Not necessarily, no.
If it's okay for women to say men should, why can't men say women should? In society, if a man says women should, that's going to be labeled with sexist, misogyny, but there's never this criticism when women say men should.
Housework is not real work.
Said no man
I can clean
ever.
an entire 6-bedroom house, top to bottom, in under an hour.
Said no man
you
ever.
ladies are so spoiled with your laundry machines
we
and
are.
your
We are.
dishwashers. Basically don't have any work to do because you're spoiled. It's a luxury getting to stay home and do nothing and sit on your ass and eat bonbons.
Whatever
While
those men are,
out
yeah.
here doing the real labor out
Yeah.
under the sun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? So why don't you do it then? Why don't you stay home and do the work that you consider easy and enjoyable, and the women will go out and do the work that you don't like?
Men don't want society to fall apart. That's why they still go do those jobs. It's always so funny when women say something along these lines, because really, just go to any blue-collar job, construction site, you know, and see how many women there are. It's barren. And it's not like these companies don't hire women. They definitely do. They just don't last very long, or they don't even apply to begin with. And quite frankly, I'm scared. With how little we appreciate men doing these hard jobs, if they wanted to stop tomorrow, we would be in big trouble. No matter what you want to say, we need men.
The number of black babies aborted was higher than the number of black babies born. Congratulations, Planned Parenthood. They did an incredible job. I always go back to who Margaret Sanger actually was and what she preached. And if she'd had her way, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. She actually said this on tape, that her goal was to exterminate anybody that she didn't like.
She was a eugenicist.
Yes, that is the founder and the foundation, therefore, of Planned Parenthood.
She believed people of certain stocks and breeds should not have the right to reproduce. That's why she founded the American Birth Control League, which became Planned Parenthood. And so you look at today, where a majority of facilities in Planned Parenthood, they are in minority, brown and black, walkable neighborhoods.
That's why I say
it's not always
and
about
that
the
is
money.
why I say get chose, don't do the choose, and like who likes you. Because guess what? You can't make a woman like you. She's gonna like you or she's not. She's gonna like you or she's not. And if she likes you, she's gonna do whatever for you. If she likes you, she's gonna bend and break all the 50-50 rule, 100% rule, this, that, and the third. If she likes you. But if she don't really like you, then you're gonna have to do all this, that, and the third. And I ain't saying you ain't gotta do it, man. If you feel like she that valuable, then go ahead and do it. I'm not doing all that though. Because the act of me doing all that subconsciously says in my mind that I'm not enough. And I'm never going to put those subconscious seeds in my mind, because then my self-image will get lesser and lesser, and every area of my life will reflect that. So I'm only dealing with a woman who sees me as a prize, and then my subconscious will always know that I'm a prize, and my self-image stays high. Then for the activities in the rest of my life stays high, because your self-image guides everything in life. Read Psycho-Cybernetics. Go check it out. The Gang Godfather.
The man who is actually the most serious about you is often the one who moves the slowest. We've been taught that speed equals interest, right? Fast replies, fast plans, fast emotions, fast intensity. But when you listen to men talk honestly, you start realizing that speed often has more to do with excitement than intention. And when a man is caught up in the moment, he moves quickly because he's chasing a feeling, the rush of affection, the adrenaline, the excitement of something new. But when a man genuinely wants you and he's serious about you, something different tends to happen. He becomes more careful. He thinks more before he speaks. He plans more before he acts. Because now it's not just about enjoying the moment. It's about being intentional and not ruining something that actually feels important to him. But many of us don't like that. We don't appreciate that because we want something fast. We want the rush of excitement. The man who is serious, he's gonna slow down. He watches how you communicate. He observes how you handle things, who you really are before he invests deeply. And to a woman, that slower pace can sometimes feel like hesitation or a lack of urgency, and we hate that. But sometimes a man moves more slowly, not because he doesn't see value, but because he does.
You know, it pains me, like, when I realized that I was the only that was taking this girl serious, I don't know if embarrassed is the word, but I genuinely, I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it. I remember, bro, when I found out everyone was taking her, like, as a joke, I was so sick. Not only because of what I was hearing. I'm is hitting that, passing that, all types of shit. Not only because what I was hearing, but, like, bro, why, like, I'm the only that's respecting her, bro? And I was just like, I just didn't understand. I didn't know how to feel.
And you know what's funny? A lot of these modern women are talking about a real man would do this, or as a man, a real man would just, he would do that. He would just know what needs to be done without being told. A real man wouldn't need to be asked twice. For some women, a real man would need to be asked at all. A real man would handle everything without complaining. But when a man stops and say, okay, cool. Okay, let me ask you something. What is it that you're going to bring to the table? What is it that you're going to bring to the relationship? What is it that you're going to bring to the relationship? Oh, nothing. So, as a real man, I'm doing all of this stuff, but you ain't doing nothing. I think that's what I'm hearing, right? Nothing. Can't get a straight answer. Men have started asking anyway, because I know you're not going to say anything, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And your silence, your lack of an answer is going to tell me everything that I need to know. Your ability not to communicate what you bring to, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. What do you bring to the table? Oh, well, I got my own. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Not talk about no table over there. This table, what do you bring to this table? Answer it or I'm leaving.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your man is paying for rent, it doesn't mean he's providing for you. You would have had to pay for rent with or without you there.
You know what this was giving? Don't love your job, job your love.
Black women are voting for the Democrats because they have allowed them to usurp black leadership in our community, male leadership. And so they get a reinforcement from the media, they get reinforcement from the Democrat Party, and so they are easily manipulated into voting for Democrats. And that's where the spiritual element comes in. The Bible says, see to it that no one takes you captive through philosophy, empty deceptions, according to the traditions of men and the elementary principles of the world, rather than according to Jesus Christ. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8.
It is not natural, not biologically natural for a woman to not feel emotional attachment or love or some sort of fluttery emotion about a man that she's sleeping with. Okay? End of story. End of story. If she's able to do any of these things, again, she either doesn't like you or she's like kind of dead inside because of all the things we just described. Now, if a woman like this somehow is saying all this because she thinks this is the cool thing to say, but she's actually not dead inside, right? This whole charade will get dropped the second a guy who comes along that she actually likes. All of this goes to shit.
I just have to disagree with that in a sense, because if I get with a man and I ask him, like, mind you, body count does not necessarily mean too much to me, but it means a little bit, you feel me? So it's like, if I get with a man and I'm like, what's your body count? And he's like, 25. I'm like, dang, it's only 4 seasons in a year. You only 25 years old yourself.
I like her.
So it just makes me think, like, what situations could you have possibly put yourself into that you would have gave yourself up that much? Because I do think that a man's body count matters. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but I'm saying, like,
not as much.
At the same way that I'm supposed to value myself and who I give my body to, as a man, that doesn't mean that you don't supposed to value yourself as well.
It is one of those things that I've noticed too that I actually admire Gen Z for, is a lot less of them are going and throwing themselves around than what I saw. Like, even just, maybe 10 years prior, going through school of, like, girls will be bragging about the guys they've slept with, guys will be bragging about the girls they slept with. You don't see that as much anymore. So that's a way that I'm seeing society heal itself a little bit.
That has everything to do with our entire generation is in a spotlight now. Like,
exactly.
Every single thing you do, you're like, everybody knows about it. If you're out with a guy, there's going to be a post about it. If you're out with a ton of different girls, like, you're going to see posts about it.
Exactly.
And everyone's constantly worried about that image that they have. So like, you don't get to just fly under the radar and do all these crazy things anymore as much as you used to.
That's a point that I actually don't think I've ever thought about before, is that the internet in itself, or the surveillance that we all have around us, or the ability to essentially take your mini platform, post something about someone's life, and it just might blow up, right? That system of accountability has never existed, right? Like, it's almost like crimes, they're different now than as opposed to, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, before everyone had a phone in their pocket. Back in my day, getting into a fight after school had a lot different consequences than today, because you probably gonna get posted of exactly how you took your L. If you have a guy, let's say he's moderately attractive and, he's doing very well for himself, tall young man, ambitious, going somewhere in life, strong morals, strong family behind him, and let's say he gets 8s on average, 8s and below in a room, if they were to find out that he's 15 to 20 bodies deep, ain't none of those chicks are gonna stop talking to him. In fact, they're gonna try to be the highest on his hierarchy. Let's say you take those same sets and you transition that for a woman, right? Like, let's say that, she's beautiful. Let's also say that she's deeply, exudes feminine characteristics. But if she has 15 to 20 bodies lined up behind her, I'm trying to tell you, dudes will situationship you, but they will not take you serious unless they've bitten the apple of like how we're equal when it comes to our sexuality, and they believe that. Would you rather be the mother or the father of a son with 25 bodies at the age of 25 years old, or would you rather be the parent of a daughter with 25 bodies at the age of 25 years old? I want the audience to answer that.
If you're the type of woman that likes to text your man throughout the day, maybe send him a quick tip pic, but then at the end of the day, you don't follow through with what you said that you wanted to do throughout the day, you are training your man to not believe a word you say. You are training your man to not believe you, to expect disappointment from you. And trust me, I get it. Life happens. I'm human. Sometimes at the beginning of the day or mid-afternoon, I'm like, oh my gosh. And, I text my man XYZ, get super excited, and then a bunch of shit happens. Life happens. That is okay. But if you are constantly doing this on a regular basis to where you're saying you want XYZ or bedroom activities when you get home and you're hyping your man up, but at the end of the day, you literally never follow through, you're setting yourself up for failure. And you're training your man to disconnect and have resentment toward you. Imagine holding a steak above a dog's head every single day, holding it just above so he can smell it. He knows what it is and he's so excited for it, but then you take it away and you continue to do this. You know what's gonna happen? The minute somebody else holds that steak above his head and says, yeah, you can have it, and he's able to get to it, he's gonna take the steak. But it's not gonna be your steak, it's gonna be somebody else's steak. And I think you understand what I'm saying here, right? So if you're doing this to your husband and you're putting yourself in that position, I do not feel bad for you, because you are setting your husband up for failure. You're setting him up to realize and understand that your word means absolutely nothing because you can't hold your word. Again, things happen. That's life. That's understandable. But when it becomes a pattern and often, that's a problem. So if you're doing that to your man, you're creating resentment and trust issues. Like, he's not going to trust you and he's going to start to resent what you're doing to him. And honestly, it's going to get to a point where he doesn't even get turned on by it because he already knows it's setting him up for failure. So do it that way.
The man who tolerates everything will usually become the most disrespected man in the relationship. A lot of men think being a good partner means being endlessly patient, forgiving, and understanding, and they believe that just because they keep giving chances and letting things slide, eventually their partner will respect and appreciate them, right? No, that's not how respect works. Respect is built on boundaries, and boundaries only matter when they're actually enforced. If somebody can raise their voice at you, dismiss you, ignore you, and cross the same line again and again and again without consequences, what message are you sending your partner? You're teaching them that that behavior is acceptable. What gets tolerated gets repeated, and over time the dynamic starts to shift. Instead of seeing you as strong and grounded, they begin to see you as somebody who will just keep accepting anything just to keep the peace. And when somebody believes that there are no consequences for disrespect, guess what? The respect slowly starts to disappear. This is where many men get confused. They think being calm, patient, and understanding means tolerating everything. But I'm sorry, it doesn't. Being a good man does not mean allowing yourself to be walked all over like a doormat. Healthy relationships require accountability on both sides. Sometimes the most respectful thing you can do for yourself and for the relationship is calmly say, you know what? That behavior is not acceptable, because when a man tolerates everything, he slowly teaches people how little that they need to respect him. And that is not okay. But when a man has clear standards and boundaries, he teaches people how to treat him, and they do it. And the truth is, people respect the man who respects himself. Simple.
So you have a lot of women out there, I think, that because they don't really understand their own emotions, women will say that a man is love bombing them when the man is being like he's being genuine, he's being real, right? But then they'll turn around and say he's emotionally available when he pulls back after she showed him that she wasn't going to match his energy. It's like every single time you turn around, a man can't win, and that's what's confusing, right? You're too attentive. You try to give her the validation that she's wanting, then all of a sudden you're suspicious, right? But if you pull back, you avoid it, you're closed off. I can't, I'm too healed for that. I snuffed that out in a minute, right? And so when men come into contact with this nonsense now, then they stop playing the game entirely, right? Because I'm not about to sit up here and try to figure out and guess what the right answer is. It's foolishness.